Hey guys, welcome back to Embraced by Life. I'm your host Lisa, sharing with you our early retirement journey for myself, my husband Frank, and our dog Buddy. So I'm going to share with you today what Frank and I did in order to change our domicile from New Jersey to Florida before we moved to Spain. So once we sold our home, we put Buddy in the pet hotel for a couple weeks, and we booked ourselves flights to Florida. What we did was we signed up with a company called Savvy Nomad, and they give you both a residential and a mailing address for you to use, which is a address that works really well with the banks, is what we're told. So it's not a traveling PO box. It's actually a physical residential address that they give you as well as a mailing address. And they scan your mail for you, and they'll actually send you mail and packages if they come for you and you need them sent to Spain. So we signed up with Savvy Nomad. They gave us a piece of paper that showed our new residential address, which we took with us to Florida, and we went to the Department of Motor Vehicles in Florida and we changed our licenses, handed in our New Jersey licenses, and got Florida licenses from the DMV. So in addition to the paper that they gave us to show our new address that we lived there, we also had to update our mailing address with our bank before we went to Florida. And then we went to the bank and had them print out a statement for us to show that we had that address assigned to our bank. So we took those two pieces of paper with us. We didn't use utility bills or anything like that. The bank letter and the letter from Savvy Nomad was enough for us to change our driver's licenses. And we had a couple days in Florida to relax and relieve from the back pain of moving. So that was kind of cool. And then we flew back to New Jersey from Florida, and we geared up for our move. We sold the last car that we had, gave it actually to one of our friends, and our other car that we had, it was a newer car, we sold that through CarMax. It worked out perfectly. They gave us a really good deal on it. We dropped it off, and they gave us a check, and we deposited that into the bank, and that was done. So those were like two big things that we had to do before we moved. The other thing that we had to do was sign up with Wise. So Wise is an online bank that you can sign up for. You have to do that in the US before you leave. So we signed up for Wise. We made sure to use our Florida address, and then that allows us to transfer money into Wise in US dollars, and then they also have the option to convert it into euros. So when you sign up for Wise, they have a US dollar account that you deposit into, and then you, within that account, you open up a euro account that you transfer the money into euros. And so we did that in order to be able to have some euros that we could then transfer into local Spain banks. So since we've arrived, I'll have a whole separate video on all the paperwork that we've had to go through over the past 2.5 weeks since getting here. It's a ton of stuff that we've had to do, but one of which was establishing a bank here in Spain, and we just literally got a brick and mortar bank account today. So we've done a few other things to gear up for that, so I'll have a whole separate video on that. But now that we have a bank here, which is CaixaBank, we are now able to transfer our money from Wise into CaixaBank if we need to pay for things here like utilities and things where you need a Spain IBAN number. So there are certain things here that you can't just pay with credit card or cash or a debit card. You need to have a Spain bank account. So we just signed up with CaixaBank today. So those were some hot ticket items I wanted to run through with you quickly today of what Frank and I were busy doing while Buddy was in the pet hotel gearing up to move to Spain. So again, highlighting selling our cars, getting rid of those, and then changing our domicile address from New Jersey to Florida. And the whole purpose of that was twofold. One was to avoid any tax implications or worries about New Jersey taxes if it ever came up. Florida is a lot more convenient from a tax perspective. If we were to have to pay taxes, which we will, we'll obviously have to pay federal and state taxes in the US in addition to in Spain. So that was the first reason. The second is we needed a place for our mail to go to, and we don't have friends or family that we could use their address. So we signed up with Savvy Nomad. So that was the second reason why we signed up with them. So I hope you find this video helpful along with all the other ones that I'm sharing. I'll continue to do more. And in particular, for those of you moving with an NLV visa, I will give you a full update probably tomorrow or the next day as to everything that we've had to do since we've gotten here, which has been a ton of stuff to get us secured here with all the paperwork and everything that we need. Okay, so continue to embrace life and have a great day. Bye.